Welcome back. Economist Harry Dent out with a prediction that an everything bubble will burst in the new year, warning that 2024 will bring the biggest crash of our lifetime. Kudlow host Larry Kudlow joins us now. Larry, I know you agree with nothing that he says, so I'm just going to let you rip on this because a lot of people saw that headline and they're concerned about what could happen next year, and also that he's talking about a deflationary environment, but that's nuanced conversation.
Well, I wouldn't agree with anything this chap said. Nothing, zero. I just want to make that clear on any issue at all. Regarding the market, if that's what we're talking about, I think there's a bunch of positives out there that's building the Kudlow Trust to a very happy new year.
Oh, there we go.
Like
that's
that.
why Larry's so happy.
That's why I really like it. I mean, look, earnings are doing profits. The mother's milk of stocks are probably doing better than expected. The beats are outnumbering the declines. Second point is market interest rates have fallen. I don't care about the Fed. The bond rate has fallen by 100 basis points, actually more, about 120 basis points.
Yeah.
That is what that means is the value of profits in the future will be even stronger, okay? It's a net present value. That's driving the market, too. And on the whole, inflation has come down. I mean, look, the trouble here is affordability for a lot of middle-class families trying to make ends meet because prices are much higher than they were 3 years ago. But at the same time, the inflation rate has relieved the interest rate markets of the premiums that they had. So you line that up, and you've got pretty good looking stock market.
This is going to be good for Biden next year. I mean, you're painting a picture that says a sitting president next year with what you just described has a little wind at his back.
Well, I think, he's so dumb he probably won't talk about it because mostly he attacks corporations and he'll attack the stock market, which is silly because I just saw the Federal Reserve Bank in New York did a survey, or somebody did a survey. 55% of people are in the market one way or another. It's probably 125 million people.
Yeah.
So, the short answer is yes. Okay, I don't want to degrade the market in political terms.
Right.
Profits of the mother's milk, profits up, interest rates down, very, very positive. I would say one other thing: never time the market. Never. Look what's happened just in the last 4, 5, 6 weeks. If you were out, you would have missed this gigantic move to record highs.
Yeah.
Never time the market. But stocks, can they hold next year? Look, the Federal Reserve is doing its job. The Fed should not ease. All this easing talk is wrong. Just hold the line. Get the inflation rate down to 0 to 2%. The problem is the Bidens are going to run a $2 trillion budget deficit.
Yes.
They're not helping one bit, and their spending rate is still 25% of GDP.
Yep.
They're working against the Fed and against the stock market. That's the tragedy of this thing, no matter what they say.
All right. We know two things. One, Larry does not agree with Harry Dent.
Right.
That's clear. Number two, Colorado Supreme Court, former President Trump, I'm guessing you're not on board with that decision either. What do you make of it?
It's a dumb decision. Of course it is. It's undemocratic. Mr. Trump's speech on January 6th, if you read it, I have a line here. I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard. There is no insurrection call. He has neither been charged with insurrection nor convicted of insurrection. Therefore, you have a renegade state court in Colorado with 9 Democrats. I might add 4 of whom apparently objected to it. I think everybody believes the Supreme Court will just throw this out. If they don't, the Colorado Republican Party said this morning they will change from a primary to a caucus, so this decision won't hold. It's just stupid. It's part of the stupidness. You know what? On the eve of the Iowa caucuses, this will help Mr. Trump because it reminds people how corrupt the Biden Democratic Party is. Corrupt. And they want to throw him in jail for 700 years. Not going to happen. But using this silly 14th Amendment and the insurrection charge makes no sense at all.
Well, and when you don't follow due process, I mean, our justice system in this country exists for a reason. It sets a terrible precedent that may come around to President Biden and his son.
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting thought because if Joe Biden loses, he will have November, December, and half of January to pardon his son Hunter and all their little friends. And that's what's going to happen. There'll be lots of pardons in the Biden family. There'll be pardons of sons, friends of sons,
brothers,
wives of sons, in-laws of sons, brothers of the president. I mean, that's going to be the most beautiful thing. The corruption, this is my view, the corruption in the Bidens is just vast and huge.
He's not going to be able to take as many vacations if he has to do that much pardoning, Larry. You need a lot
That
of
is
time.
true.
He can do it from Rehoboth if the weather's good. All it's just a little signature.
That's right. That's all it takes is a little signature. All it takes is Larry Kudlow on this show to make sense of everything.
Well, I'm just that you're very kind. I'm just saying on the stock market, and I don't look at the stock market politically. It's profits and interest rates, always has been.
Yep.
And right now, both are moving in the right direction.
Okay.
That's the take we want. Larry Kudlow, thank you for being here.
Pleasure.
Always good to see you. All right.